quoting sayings that are contained in both scriptures and traditions which were floating around first century Palestine, sir. Now, what you posted certainly does quote the words of Jesus, which in the New Testament puts him on the cross. However, in the Nag Hamadi writings, does not put him on the cross. It is inferred and equivocated by your Christian interpreters, the Gnostic Christian movement that is now equating the Nag Hamadi testimonies with the New Testament. So in fact, let me give you an example. Jesus Christ in the New Testament says, Ila lama sabachthani. The same words which can be found in the Gospel of Philip, yet Jesus might have said these words driving in a Maserati down the Autobahn highway in Germany. Yet the inference is assumed that he is now saying this on the cross. You see how you've fallen for appealing to the inferences of your Christian commentators. Prove me wrong, Roy Olson, prove me wrong. Show me that these words in the Gospel of Philip were said by Jesus upon the crucifixion stick. Your mic.
Gomer, have you not read the quote, sir? It says he said these words on the cross. That is not the commentary of the translators. These are the words of Philip himself. He said it on the cross. It's not an inference. Philip is telling you what it is, what happened. That is what Philip does. It's in the text. Gomer, does Philip not say that this was on the cross, that he said this on the cross? Does it? Or does it not? Does it or does it not, Gomer? It's inferenced. What makes you think it's inferenced, Gomer? What makes you think it's inferenced? You're saying he could be sitting in a Maserati driving on the highway. It could be. But Philip excludes that. He says it was on the cross. He wasn't sitting in a Maserati. He said it was on the cross that he said these words. Let me post it again. It was on the cross that he said these words. Can you please explain to me what Philip means with it was on the cross that he said these words? Go ahead, Gomer. Mic is yours.
First off, Neck Demon, this is not the words of Philip. These are the words of the interpreters equating the testament or the statement to Mark 15:34. Sir, do you think the Gospel of Philip referenced Mark 15:34 there in the parentheses? I think not. This is the author equivocating the statement, sir. No, it is not what Philip says. Did Philip refer this statement to... Did Philip quote Mark? I think not, sir. Did Philip put that in the text? Mark 15 verse 34? I think not, sir. These are inferenced upon the text, sir. Differentiate that.
I don't know where to begin. Thank you, Mr. Admin, and thank you, Roy Olson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to God's chosen people. Greetings to all our respected guests. Clear mic? It's actually a little bit comical that El Kabir has absolutely zero idea of what he's even talking about. Yes, sir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses Maryam in the Quran as Ya Ukht al-Harun. Meaning women who were in the Levitical class. Dawood, literally not the son of David, their generation. In Arabic, Maut means death. Okay? When it comes to mutawafikum, it comes from the root word tawafa, which comes from the root word wafat, which means to fulfill. To fulfill. This does not mean death. It can occur in sleep. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in Surah Ayat 6 verse 60, if someone wants to post. Yeah? It is He who takes you back to Himself in sleep, yatawafakum, and then wakes you up again. Also in Surah Az-Zumar, Ayat 42. 39, Ayat 42. I'm wasting my time on Al-Kabir. Subhanallah. Allah takes back people's selves, tawafa, when their death arrives, and even when they have not died while they are asleep. So your point is moot on that point. In addition, it's irrespective of whether Jesus Christ died or not. This does not change Islam theologically one bit. Jesus Christ eating peanuts, walking in a canal somewhere of old age, irrelevant in Islam. The point is, Allah tells us He was not crucified. He was not crucified, and this is why there is no crucifixion story in any Christian literature outside the New Testament. There is no crucifixion story in any literature outside the New Testament that is related to a biography on the life of Jesus. Meaning, alternate Christian movements that wrote a biography of their Messiah do not contain a crucifixion story. Nothing in the Gospel of Philip, nothing in the Gospel of Thomas, nothing in the Sea Scrolls, nothing in the Damascus document, no alternate primary sources of narrative.
Absolutely, and as we can see, the room has been refuted. Ladies and gentlemen, my claim stands.
Okay, Gomer. Can somebody please remove the dot from Gomer? Gomer, let me post the text again because you're obviously not reading. You keep talking about the parentheses that the commentary has put in the text. I am talking about that which follows the parentheses. Does it or does it not say it was on the cross that He said these words? Gomer, this is so going on YouTube, dude, because this guy is just amazing. Gomer, does this not say that it was on the cross that He said these words? This is commentary. So the words, it was on the cross that He said these words, is commentary. Is that what you're saying? Gomer, the words, it was on the cross that He said these words, is that commentary? Okay, let me take out the parentheses that was added. This is the text of Philip, sir. Let's read it. My God, why have you forsaken me? It was on the cross that He said these words. Gomer, there is no crucifixion in the Gospel of Philip? Gomer, there was no crucifixion in the Gospel of Philip, sir? Gomer, can you please raise your hand, sir? There is no... Okay, can you read this text, sir, when you're on the mic? Read this text, sir. This is no added commentary from the translator. This is just the text as it appears in the Gospel of Philip. Go ahead, mic is yours.
No, it's not, sir. Again, it is an inference done amongst the commentary of the translation, sir. Show us the verse, give us the text, we will read it from the Coptic source. You see, again, you are relying on inferences written by the commentators and the translators, sir. Where do you not get it? Listen, we can settle this by simply quoting the verse. Give us the chapter and the verse. Give us the reference. We will read it and you will see that these words are not there, sir. Yeah? Amazing. Robert Eisman and some of his hooligans do a translation and you're using their inferences as proof